Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about all the sick taboo things that narcissists do, okay? Narcissists do things beyond the ordinary, and I'm going to get into some of the taboo things that they do. I spoke about yesterday how narcissists sex addicts, and a lot of them are. And I also spoke about the taboo factor, how narcissists do things that are taboo. So today I'm going to talk about all the sick things that narcissists do, which is taboo, all right? Number one, narcissists will do things such as when they live a secret life or they have another supply that you don't know about, some of them will actually bring that other supply into your home and have sex with that other supply on your bed. And that is taboo, okay? Because not only are they cheating on you and going with other people, but they're actually bringing that person into your home and having sex with them on your bed. And it gives the narcissist a rush. It gives them a thrill, thinking that, number one, they're deceiving you, they're getting over on you, and it's a double whammy because they're having sex in the bed that you sleep in every night, or maybe that you have sex with the narcissist. So it is a complete violation, and narcissists love it. They love to know that they're getting over on you, okay? What's another taboo thing that narcissists do? They have sex when you're going through something rough. They'll have sex with somebody, let's say, when you go to a funeral. And didn't we see this on one of the reality shows where he was having an affair, that whole, scandal that they had, and she was going to her grandmother's funeral and he had sex with somebody else, with her friend, when she was at a funeral? So that's another thing too. Narcissists, they have no moral code. So they don't care that you're going through something. Maybe it's a loss of somebody in your family, or even if you're sick, you could be sick. Maybe you're sick, you're in the hospital. And narcissists use it as a time to get it in and get with other supply. This is taboo, okay? This is taboo. This is somebody who really doesn't care about your feelings. And even at your lowest point, they're still trying to get that instant gratification, get that pleasure, and get over on you, okay? So that is like one of the lowest things a narcissist could do, is if you're going to a funeral and they're cheating on you and having sex when you're in your lowest point and you're in pain, all right? What's another taboo thing that narcissists do? They have sex with someone in your family, okay? They may make passes at your daughter, your son, or your mother, okay? See, nothing is off limits to the narcissist. They don't care. They don't say, I really shouldn't. That's their family. No, they don't care. If they could do it, they're going to do it. And if they're attracted to somebody, they don't care that it's your family. And the same thing goes with your friends. That's why, like, somebody mentioned this on a post where they said, that their partner was sending their friend requests, sending all their friends friend requests. And this is what narcissists do. They network, and they'll actually send friend requests to your friends if they find them attractive, and try to, get something going. This happens all the time. You find out that the other supply is somebody that you know, or somebody that's close to you. So if somebody in your family is, having an affair with the narcissist, your narcissist, or it's one of your close friends, they're narcissistic as well, because they have no empathy for you as well. And that's a situation where you could have two narcissists getting together. One could be your people, which is a family member or a close friend, and the narcissists themselves, and they're both getting a chuckle at knowing that they're getting over on you. Another case could be your friend sexting with your narcissist. And this actually happened to me, where I had a good friend at the time. I didn't know she was narcissistic, and she was actually sexting with a guy that I was, dating and everything. And both of them got a certain chuckle at realizing that they were getting over on me, okay? They were getting over on me. She used to say to me, oh, I'll call so-and-so, like if I was arguing with him about something, she'd say, oh, I'll call him, and I'll talk to him for you. And what she was actually doing was sexting with him, all right? And you know how she got busted? I'll tell you guys how she got busted. She got busted because she actually brought it up without realizing in conversation. See how narcissists tell on themselves, all right? See how narcissists tell on themselves? She was getting off in thinking that, she this is what she used to do because she was a narcissistic female. She used to talk dirty to guys on the phone, get them going, and she loved the power and control in knowing that she had these guys calling her all the time to talk dirty to her, all right? She equated that as her being so special, okay? Meanwhile, they would call anybody who's, giving them dirty talk on the phone, all right? So these are all taboo things. Another thing, like I spoke about in my podcast yesterday, that's taboo, is the narcissist will have sex with underage children, okay? Underage kids. They'll sometimes go with a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, even younger. Now, let's keep this, clear. Not all narcissists are pedophiles, but all pedophiles are narcissistic, all right? Because they have no empathy for their victims. But keep in mind, a lot of people you get involved with, especially if you're a single parent, you guys. If you're a single parent, that narcissist could be getting together with you, not because they're interested in you, but because they're interested in maybe your underage daughter or underage son, okay? So you have to be very careful when you're a single parent with kids and you get involved with somebody that you're not dealing with a narcissistic person who maybe is lusting after your kids. And this happens all the time. You know how many people have commented on posts that I've had where they said, oh, he was going after my underage daughter, all right? So you've got to be really careful. Don't bring anybody around your kids till you know them at least 8 months to a year, because you don't know these people and what they're capable of, right? The other thing this is all taboo. This is all taboo. Another thing that is taboo is when narcissists start to have sex with your neighbors, okay? They become very friendly with your neighbors. Somebody also mentioned this, and this is so true. They love to, like if you live in an apartment building, they love to have affairs with other people in the apartment building, okay? They love it. They love to have something going on where they can switch from floor to floor and they have something going on in room 345, okay? Or something. They love when it's close to home. Because it's easy. It's easier. Like you go to work and they could just run to the neighbor's apartment and have a little rendezvous with them. It's taboo. And meanwhile, you're walking into the building saying hello to these people like, hey, good morning, goodbye. And meanwhile, your narcissistic partner is having sex with them or flirting with them or doing something that they shouldn't do. All right. Another taboo thing that narcissists do is sleep with their boss when they shouldn't be sleeping with their boss. Let's talk about all the people that have gotten to the top by sleeping with their bosses, okay? And a lot of times their bosses are married and they don't care. But what they do is they flatter their boss, especially if the boss is a narcissist. They flatter their boss. They tell them everything they want to hear. And the boss gives them the raises, the promotions, favors them over everybody else, because they're doing something underhanded, okay? They're providing a service, a sexual service to that boss to work, climb that ladder, whether it's a corporate ladder or another ladder. It's the way a lot of people have gotten ahead, is by having affairs with people on the top of like businesses. You see it a lot too in Hollywood, how people have gotten to the top to get movie roles or whatever. They have certain, sexual relations with people that give them these positions, all right? Now, moving on to other ways that narcissists do taboo things. They'll call the authorities on you to get you in trouble, okay? This is your covert narcissist. Covert narcissists love to do things under the radar to get you in trouble for something. Whatever they can think of, they'll try to get you in trouble for something. All right, maybe get you in trouble with a car registration or get you in trouble with something. Somehow, any way they can think of. And this is taboo because what they're doing is they're just, they're playing really underhanded and dirty in order to hurt you. And the thing is, you don't know who it is that's calling the authorities because a lot of times they call anonymously. It depends on who they're calling, whether they can call anonymously and make false claims, false reports. They can call the police on you when you haven't done anything wrong, okay? They could file false claims in court. They could do all these kind of things that they shouldn't do and is unethical because the narcissist is dirty and underhanded. And especially the covert narcissist, they're very, very sneaky and they love to do these kind of things. They love to get you in trouble with the law. They love to file false lawsuits on you where they don't have a claim on you, okay? They love all this kind of stuff. Anything to harass you, bother you, ruin your reputation, that's your covert narcissist, all right? Now, we're really going to get into it, you guys, okay? I made this big list up. I thought about all the taboo things and sexual and unsexual things that narcissists do. A narcissist can get off in having sex with a priest, okay? This may be somebody who goes to, church all the time, or it could be mosque or synagogue, and has an affair with one of the religious officials in that organization. Or it could be the opposite way. You could have, somebody who's a leader of a religious organization getting up there preaching that they are holier than God, preaching to all these people, you need to be monogamous, you need to be loyal to your husband and wife, you need to live a clean life, you need to do this. And meanwhile, they're having an affair with somebody in their congregation, okay? Hypocrisy's finest. That's what it is. Hypocrisy's finest. Preaching to you one thing and doing another, okay? That's how you tell if somebody is a person of God. And I mentioned this in my older podcast. Let's get this straight. In my older podcast, I talked about that if a person does not follow God's rules and they're just preaching about God, then they're not really a person of God, okay? A person of God follows God's laws, okay? And that's what I talked about was one of the things that got copied, of course, but that was in my older podcast, and I spoke about that, all right? Because I've had people that I've talked to that have dealt with religious narcissists who, they told me, they're head of this organization. I said, well, if they're not living according to God's laws, then they're hypocrites. Then they're false prophets. They're trying to portray that they're somebody that they're not, and they're hiding under the mask of religion. This is what they do, okay? Now, moving along on how the narcissist, their behaviors are taboo, all right? They, like I said before, they can go with your best friend or have sex with them or sext with them. All right, next taboo thing that narcissists do, they cheat on you when you're pregnant. Oh, does this happen a lot? Oh, do they love to cheat on their pregnant partners? And what they do is they gaslight. And they say, well, I was afraid to become a father or something like that. I was afraid, to get married. I was afraid. They're not afraid of jack shit, okay? This is all gaslighting. This is all an excuse why they were, having sex and, cheating on you while you were pregnant, all right? They used it as an opportunity to get away. Here you are, you're pregnant, you can't do anything. You're probably home, you're tired, you're sleeping all the time because when you're pregnant, a lot of times you're tired, you don't feel good, and the narcissist will gaslight you, tell you, oh, they're going to their mothers, they're going to the gym, they're going here, and meanwhile, they look at it as an opportunity to get out and be with other supply. Now, moving along with regards to taboo things with pregnancies. When it goes the other way, you could be with a partner who, let's say it's a male to female partner, and that female could get pregnant by another guy and pretend that you are the father. Okay, didn't we see this? Are you the father? Is this the father, right, on that show? So that is taboo. And what a female narcissist would do is she might say, no, it's your baby, right? So meanwhile, she had sex with maybe another guy or a bunch of other guys, and she doesn't know who the father is, or she does know who the father is, and she's hiding and gaslighting, and she doesn't want to be exposed for the fact that she was, having sex with other people, and she'll lie to her partner and tell her partner that he is the father. This is a way that a narcissist could trap somebody into marrying her, okay? And saying that they are the father, and also getting them to support them, okay? All of this is taboo behavior, all right? It goes beyond ethical. It really does, all right? Now, another point, another behavior that's toxic and taboo of the narcissist is they want you to have sex with other people, and they like to either watch you or they like to record you, okay? This is the sick mind of the narcissist. They're into freaky things. Now, keep in mind, not everybody that's into freaky things is a narcissist, because we have to use the basic definition of narcissism, all right? Narcissism is on a spectrum. You have people that are very narcissistic who have zero empathy, and people that have narcissistic traits, right? So, but somebody who's pressuring you to have sex, making you do something that you're uncomfortable with, and you're trying to please this narcissist, okay, because they're into weird, freaky shit, all right, and you're trying to please them, and then what they do later on is they say, well, you wanted to do it anyway. Okay, this is how they gaslight. You wanted to have sex with that other guy or the other girl, if it's the other way around, all right? But you felt pressured, and you did something that you normally wouldn't want to do, and narcissists love it because it's taboo, okay? You're doing something, they got you to a point, they controlled you, and they got you to do a point sexually of what you're not comfortable with, okay? Now, the other thing that they do too, and I mentioned this in my older podcasts about how narcissists are in the bedroom, all right? What they love to do is they love to videotape you and not tell you they're videotaping you during sex. And what a lot of them can do is upload it to porn, and they could profit off it. And how do I know this? Because this happened to a very good friend of mine, okay, who got videotaped while having sex, and then found out later that that narcissist was uploading those sex tapes to porn to make money off it, all right? That is taboo. And not only that, that is illegal, and you could file criminal charges against somebody that ever does that to you, just so you know, all right? These are all things that are taboo, all right? Next, they make a pass at your mother or your sister, or if it's the other way and it's a female, she's making passes at your father, all right? Or your brother. That is taboo, and I spoke about that a little bit in the beginning of this podcast, all right? Next taboo thing they could do is have a baby with someone else while they're married to you. All of this is taboo. They go out, they get somebody pregnant, and they're married to you. That is ultimately very taboo, okay? Getting someone else pregnant while they're married to you. And like I said, narcissists love things that are forbidden. They love the forbiddenness, the forbidden fruit. They love it because it provides excitement for them. There's a certain excitement, but what happens is they get in over their heads. They get in over their heads because when they get to a point where maybe they get somebody else pregnant and they're married to you, now they got to deal with divorce. They got to deal with paying out to attorneys, and it just doesn't look good for the narcissist, okay? It doesn't look good for the narcissist. Plus, they're also paying out child support to the other person, and here you got a real triangulation and a mess. So it actually, all that taboo behavior will come back and bite the narcissist in the ass in the end, okay? Because they're doing things that eventually, will come out, all right? What's in the dark always comes out in the light, and that's what happens with the narcissist, and especially when they do these kind of taboo kind of things that go really beyond, what is moral and ethical and righteous. So what happens is they dig a hole for themselves, to put it bluntly, all right? The other thing, when they do those kind of things, they'll also gaslight and say, well, we were broken up. We were broken up. This is what happens when a narcissist gets busted for cheating or something, or they get somebody else pregnant. They'll sit there and they'll say, well, we weren't talking. We were broken up. When in fact, you weren't broken up from that narcissist. You were not. They never came to you and broke up with you. Maybe they were still talking to you. You thought the relationship was still going. But they're going to gaslight and say, well, we were broken up, okay? Don't fall for that. That is all to create confusion in your mind and to justify their unethical, immoral behavior, all right? So, you guys, these are all the ways that narcissists act taboo, and they are like the dirtiest creatures out there. They really are. If you have any ideas or comments or things that that a narcissist did was taboo, drop it in the comments. Make people aware of all the different ways that these narcissists act in a taboo type of way. Also, you guys, I want to bring up something else. I'm going to be taking questions. And I did this like a few years ago where I took people's questions and I put them on the podcast. And on my, Instagram story and also on Facebook, I have the phone number there of where you can call and you could text your question. The only thing is, you guys, only text a very short paragraph, okay? It's got to be a short paragraph because my team can't read through all the long, stories. It's got to be a question, a brief question, a short paragraph, or they're gonna go right through it and not even read it, okay? But you could text your questions to the number 917-781-1230. Again, 917-781-1230. If you're confused about a narcissist and you need, it's a simple question that you want answered. If it's more in depth and you're dealing with a lot, then you're going to need coaching, all right? And you could get one-on-one coaching by checking out the link in the bio at my website at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed, where I offer one-on-one phone coaching. And that's where you can, if you need clarity and you need to find out what kind of narcissist you're dealing with, how to deal with them. You need advice, you need clarity, and your story is a little bit more in depth, then you're going to need the phone coaching. All right. But if it's a quick question, you could text the quick question to my team. And if it's suitable, we will answer the question on the podcast anonymously. Okay. Just so you know. Also, you guys, check out my Facebook at the game EXP123. I got a lot of reels and videos on there. Check out my YouTube, where I have almost 7,000 videos, at the Game Exposed Podcast. Instagram is the Game EXP123, and TikTok is the Game Exposed. And have a great day.